Peace to the God. Peace to the God. Jason Williams. Peace to the God. Ash. Peace to the God. What's going on? Peace to the family. Peace to you and yours. It's your brother Red Pill. I'm reporting live and direct, and this is another episode of Melanin Mondays. Let's give it a minute. We're gonna let the family come into the building. All right. I know it's the late night. You know what I'm talking about. We had to make sure we did this right before midnight. So I'm just coming back from Brooklyn Academy of Music. There was a festival. Tashara, what's up? There was a festival in BK at it's called Dance Africa at the Brooklyn Academy of Music. It's a 3-day festival. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Today was the last day. It was real dope. Real dope. I mean, real dope. Because there's like for New York, for people in New York, everybody who's in the community or, you know, a part of the frequency, they know that when the summer begins, the Dance Africa is the event that sets, you know, because everybody, you know, you do ceremonies, you have events, festivals. And when you in the knuckle dragger world, it's like All-Star Weekend and, you know, Super Bowl weekend and stuff like that. Those events set off a chain reaction. So in, you know, in consciousness, or especially in New York, the summertime, I mean, everywhere where with people who are solar people domicile or live, you know, where we love the summer. We love when the sun comes out. That's our time to charge up. That's our time to regenerate. That's our time to get in touch with, you know, the power source that can basically take us to places that we've never been. And that's the sun. Shout out to KT the Arts Degree, who did a monumental presentation yesterday at Nicholas Bookstore in Brooklyn. Infinity War Decoded. Hold on. This right here. Standing room only, all right? The building was packed by 6:15. You know what I'm saying? It started at 6. By 6:15, damn near all of the seats were taken. And then it was standing room only. The brother did his thing. I believe it was a 4-hour or 3-hour presentation. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, it was a 3-hour presentation with an hour for Q&A. And he never fails to wow me. You know what I mean? The amount of information that this brother has, the amount of the way this brother just deals with science. You know what I'm saying? Like it's his first language. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when you get to see the video, for those who didn't watch the live stream or who weren't in the building, you'll see what I'm talking about. But the brother KT, the Arts Degree, definitely did his thing on the Infinity Wars Decoded at Nicholas yesterday. So salute to him. All right. So yeah, you know, that event was dope. That was on Sunday, today's event. So anytime our people get together, anytime our people come together under the spirit of, you know, festival, you know, whenever you see the pictures when people go to carnival, you know, whenever we come together for ceremony, whenever we come together to celebrate, you know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. Uh, it's so beautiful, as a matter of fact, it is so beautiful that, to be honest with you, for people who are looking for solutions, for people who are looking for an answer, for people who are looking for something that's going to be different from what they've been doing throughout all of this time that hasn't worked for them. The answer lies right in these events, because when you're in these events and when you're feeling this frequency, when you're tapping in to this energy that the people are just sharing, these negative ions that are in the air, this magnetic electrifying energy that you could cut with a knife, you know, then you realize that what we're missing is the opportunity for us to repeat these things, to come together, you know, by to increase our numbers on a weekly or monthly basis, to continue to have these gatherings, to continue to have these festivals, to continue to have these meetups, to continue to have all of these things, because these are the building blocks or the building stones of how you can actually really build a real life, for real community in real time. This is possible. This is not far-fetched. This is not a rock's throw. This is not niggas bugging. This is not revolutionary, gonna get you in trouble with the government. No, this is basic knowledge. This is information. You know what I mean? This is just, simple, like logic. In order for us to even form, or in order for a Black Wall Street to ever rise again, or in order for Wakanda to be created, or in order for, whatever you may, a black city to actually manifest. I'm not saying that the only way to do it is one way, because that's not true. But what would get you there in a quicker amount of time, or in a faster pace, is if you were to designate a location in a city that has a number of people, more than likely more than 100. I would say if the numbers were in the thousands, right? Or if the numbers were even in the hundreds, a wave of 500 people, 600 people, 700 people, 800 people, 900 people, 1,000 people, you can create a marketplace. You can create an open air marketplace that mimics what you see done at annual festivals. It doesn't matter if you live in what is known as a black city or a black town. It doesn't matter if you live in what is known as a white city or a white town. It doesn't matter if you live in a hood or a utopia. Everywhere that I've visited, and if it's not in your hood or your area, you can Google it. They have a festival, a summertime, springtime, annual festivals, or festivals with an S. You know what I'm saying? So all you have to do is to continue these festivals going on a bi-monthly, meaning bi-week, meaning every 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Or you can have it done on a weekly basis. And by doing that, you're ensuring that the money is now being circulated. It's not being spent. It's not going to the Koreans. It's not going to the Arabs. It's not going to the Europeans. It's not going to the Asians. It's actually going, if you're hungry and you want to get something to eat, there's a brother and a sister selling some food. If you know that you need some underwear and socks for the week that's coming up, well, goddamn it, there's a brother right there selling that. If you need some shades, you know what I'm talking about? If you need some nice little Barties in your life, there's somebody selling sunglasses and shades. If you're in a mood for a custom copper crown, you know what I'm saying, to where you can receive all of this powerful sunlight right on the pineal, well, then you can find that as well. If you need some clothing, because it's about food, clothing, and shelter, right? If you need clothing for you and your spouse or your children, or you want to build on your wardrobe, well, then you'll have multiple clothing brands there. You need toothpaste? Well, there's sisters that are selling toothpaste. Shout out to Nadia Ray, Holistic Heights. You can get your toothpaste or your healthcare products or your mouthwash, you know what I mean? Or you can get hair grease, or you could get your locks grease, or you could get your beeswax, or you could get your shea butter, or you could get your argan oil, and all of these other essential healthy oils that can help with hair growth and things of that nature. You could get those edges back. Facts. So I don't understand why people are not mimicking this formula in order to build, because by building up multiple small businesses and brands, you're building up your future. You're building up the opportunity to build up a company to where when they go public, they can offer shares or they can offer stocks in their company, and you could become a partial owner in that company. You can be a shareholder in a multi-million dollar / looking at $1 billion Billy company. You don't want that for yourself. You don't want to be attached to a business that you know that you helped to build up when you was there with them over the weeks, supporting them in the marketplace, buying their wares, buying their food, buying their products, buying the items that they've been creating through their intellectual property. Well, goddamn it, if that's not the case, then you're just ready to, you know what I mean, retire on the plantation, you know what I mean? And, you know, just wait for Miss Daisy to pull up so you could drive her to the funeral home. You know what I'm talking about? But don't talk about being an evolutionary. You should not be talking about you're looking for some answers. You're about solutions, brother. What are you guys over there doing? Like, you should not worry about any of that. You should continue to participate in this intricately designed matrix where they got all of this shit set up for you. Some niggas got Best Buy on every 4 exits. You know what I'm talking about? They got Walmart sitting there waiting for you. They got the NFL coming up with the young boys that they just drafted. They'll feed you niggas all of the sports that you need. They got the motherfucking the box with 100 channels on it. You can have the Fire Stick, Jailbreak, you know, anything you want. Fortnite motherfucking marathons, anything that you want. Pornhub marathons, you can have anything that you want. You niggas go ahead and just go and lie in the mud and have fun and play with it. You know what I'm talking about? Go ahead. If that's what you choose that you want to do, you went ahead and took the blue pill. Go ahead. Morpheus, go back to sleep. You know, but for those who want to do some things and want to test their, you know what I mean, test their knowledge, or test their will, or test their powers, then you should start applying it, because what I just described is something that's so simplistic. And although it will have its Murphy's Law aspects, you have to basically go through the bumps and the bruises to figure out how this thing is going to go smoothly so you could duplicate it in other states. Look, you know what I'm talking about? So you can duplicate it in other states, so you can multiply this formula in other places around the world, in other countries, so wherever you go you could begin to generate and build up what is known as the building blocks of a community. Start with the vendors first. Don't even call them vendors. Start with the small businesses first. You understand what I'm saying? Start with the small businesses. Help build up the small businesses. They're not vendors. They're small businesses. They're independent businesses. Okay, they're entities. They're legal entities, especially when they have their LLC and they have their their Dun and Brad and all of that other stuff. Yeah, these are legal entities. They're starting out the same way that Amazon, Facebook, YouTube, Google, everything else started the same way. You know what I'm talking about? With a piece of paper. So you incorporate these businesses, you set up a marketplace, you work on building a business credit. These businesses are incorporated. These businesses do business amongst each other. As these businesses do business amongst each other, which is recorded, okay, through transactions and other things of that nature, then you begin to build up business credit. By doing that, you now can work as a collective in the near future, maybe 6 months to a year down the line, to where you'll be going to different places around the world to source material and to get bulk and to get wholesale and to go inside of factories and actually get things going. And even if it's, not around the world, even if you look up and you find somewhere in the States where you can set up that whole that process, this is something that can be actualized in real time, like right now. So, that's what the Facts 2020, the book that's coming, is going to talk about in very much in detail. I'm working every day. When you don't see me, I'm doing what I gotta. When you do see me, I'm working, and when you don't see me, I'm working. You understand? So we're working arduously to get this book done. I'm very excited about producing a book. You know what I mean? I'm very excited about putting my thoughts and my ideas and my plans, in a literary state, you know what I mean, and offering that to the family. And we're gonna manifest, you know what I'm saying? We're going to manifest. But the formulas, the information, the concepts, the simplicity, the stuff that's out there that nobody is talking about, that the family might not know about, the new economies, the multiple ways to utilize technology for your ultimate benefit. You know what I'm talking about? And while you're in your higher self and you're interacting with technology, not in your lower self. When you interact with technology in your lower self, the output is not necessarily always positive. Like KT was breaking down yesterday in his lecture, he was talking about how the programmers and the engineers and the people who have come up with $1 billion ideas down in Silicon Valley and California, they're microdosing on LSD. They're waking up their DMT. Okay, they're microdosing on DMT. All right, don't get all puritanical on me. If y'all not understanding what that's about, just go ahead and do your research. All right. But these people are interacting with technology while in their higher self because they are using pharmacopoeia. They're using sacraments. They're using ways and means to escape, to go into a higher realm and then interfacing with technology, bringing down $1 billion ideas. Niggas are doing what? Smoking blunts or some K2 and going to Pornhub. So they're interfacing or interacting. They're going popping pills, sipping lean, and then going on World Star. They don't know the kind of wormhole and the kind of DNA disruption that's taking place and how they're basically making themselves sick. They're adding on. They're actually tapping into a land where there's a lot of viruses and malware. Picture the Matrix. You know what I'm talking about? Like you're plugging in to a place where it's negative. The energy is not energizing. It's not magnetic. It's not electrifying. It's not building you up. It's actually traumatizing you, triggering you, breaking you down. You know what I mean? You're wasting you're wasting brain fluid, seminal fluid. You're basically losing your light. So on top of getting radiation from the motherfucking 5G or whatever. So there are ways. Technology is not necessarily evil. You cannot you can't generalize and you can't spookify, you know what I'm saying? And you can't say that technology, you can't create a phobia against technology when technology does not dictate how it is used. It's the person using it that dictates how the technology is used. Technology is created the same way that the fire could be created. Fire could burn a city down, or fire could cook your ass some steak. You know what I'm talking about? So the technology is not being utilized by the people who are being abused by it. The technology is not being utilized for its highest purpose because the people that are using the technology are not operating in their higher purpose when using the technology. And those who are utilizing the technology in their higher purpose, they're seeing the results of the technology and they're able to speak in favorable they're able to articulate in a favorable way when speaking about technology because it's not hurting them. It's not going against their nature. It's not destroying them. It's helping them build. It's building them up. They're able to build up their bank account. They're able to build up their networks. They're able to build up the code. By building the code, they could build the app. They could build a site. They could build a product. They could build an algorithm. You know what I'm talking about? Like, they could build a motherfucking way. Okay? And for a reality that we live in where niggas don't have a way, how dare somebody try to stop somebody from creating a way when nobody is offering any other way in the circles or in the spaces where niggas congregate, like in hip hop. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about top 40 hip hop. I'm talking about the shit that the playlist that DJ Funk Master Flex created that all DJs around the world plays. I'm talking about some of those songs, not all of them, some of them. You know what I mean? I'm talking about Ratchet Mondays. You know what I mean? I'm talking about, once again, the aggregation of pure nigga shit, tomfoolery that's on World Star. Somebody got to talk about that. I need to talk to my hackers one day. Y'all niggas need to give me my options. Like, what can we do? Because the World Star shit is a behemoth. It is a problem. It is doing, it has done, not doing, it has irreversible damage that it has done. It has to be countered. It has to be counted. I'm talking about the counter, the quality of the content has to supersede anything that Negroes have ever laid their eyes on. It has to be some upstairs shit because, we getting pure trash and filth right now. That's what niggas is getting fed into their third eyes, you know what I mean? Into their auric fields, into their spirit body at a time where there's an open aggressive enemy, there's an open aggressive op, there's open aggressive plays against our people. What do our people have? What do they naturally do? What they naturally do is they participate in escapism. You understand what I'm saying? By participating in escapism, the usage of drugs begins to skyrocket because niggas will take any pill, they'll sniff any color powder, they'll fucking shoot any needle to get the fuck out of here, to not face some of the things that are taking place, not on TV, in the mirror when they looking at the shit that's facing them in their projects, in their buildings. It's a war going on outside. There's a war going on inside. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas don't even got time to worry about what Trump and them is doing on TV. Some people is just trying to survive going to the dollar store. Some niggas is trying to survive staying alive on a block for one night. Some people are trying to survive making it home from school on some occasions. Like, it can get real in certain fields. I'm in New York City. You know, my outlook and my perspective and my vantage point on what the world looks like and what's going on around the world is directly affected by me living in New York City. So I look at the world through a lens and through a pair of eyes, you know what I mean? And I see the world differently than somebody who may live in, Melbourne, Australia, or Boise, Idaho, talking about, or even somewhere in the Carolinas, or even in the A. We have a different perspective on life. If you live on the East Coast, if you live all the way in the West Coast, where at 9 o'clock, where I'm standing, it's dark, but where you're at the same time, it's 6 o'clock and it's light. We don't have the same perspective on reality, like in real time. I might be in my nighttime, you know what I mean? I might be in werewolf mode, you know what I'm talking about? The motherfucking, I might be on my lunar shit. You still in the sun. It's just a little different. But then at the same time, we're still very much alike. So for anybody that's trying to interpret this the wrong way, I'm not promoting any kind of division whatsoever. We're all brothers and sisters, okay? Like, there's multiple similarities. But I'm from New York City. Niggas in Brooklyn are not the same as niggas in Harlem are not the same as niggas in Queens. Like, even through the boroughs, everybody has a distinct, different kind of way about them, and you would have to either live here or know each different borough and how people move differently, carry themselves differently. You know what I mean? And that's how it is. So I can imagine how me and a person on the other side of the world may differ. Me and a nigga 30 minutes away from each other differ. You feel me? We different, but then we alike, but then we different. It's just weird. So, it's possible this idea or this concept that I'm introducing to the family about, once again, a solution based concept where the marketplaces that we participate in on an annual basis are extended to a weekly basis. Like, no, I don't want to wait one whole year to do this again. Who's torturing me? Like, who's doing this? Why are we not doing this once a week? It doesn't necessarily have to be in the same place. You know what I'm talking about? If we gotta move, I'm with just staying in the same location. But if you want to, because some cities are beautiful, you want to move it around to tap into different grids, to tap into different natural places of nature and whatnot. Like, I don't necessarily like vending on the concrete. I don't necessarily like doing the marketplace on the concrete around, because where we was at Brooklyn Academy of Music, there's like skyscraper. They done built towers and shit. They got these new buildings and whatnot. They got a building with an Apple store in the lobby and a Whole Foods on the other side of it. They got this big ass 30-foot building where a lot of, the gentrifiers have moved in Brooklyn. And this shit is like a humongous tower. I don't like standing around tall buildings like that all the time. I could go right on the grass. Like, send me to a park somewhere, like how they got the Malcolm X Fest in Atlanta. You could take your shoes off, you could ground yourself, you know what I mean? And you could just chill. The children could play on the grass. They don't got to worry about cars and all of that stuff. So, you know, moving is cool, moving around is cool, but we could apply the marketplace to different, you know, on a weekly basis through the summer, which usually lasts 2 months or 3 months. So that breaks down to 8 times. 8 times we could link up. Or if it extends to 3 months, if that's on a weekly basis, that's 4, 8, 12. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. So just if you're a small business or a vendor out there and you've participated in the festivals, just think about what you would be able to acute, to what you would be able to create, what you would be able to build up inventory wise, what you would be able to build up customer wise, what you will be able to build up in experience. Because remember, the more you're hands on, that's the more experience that you get when being an independent business. It's something that you can't necessarily just tell another person, this is how it's going to be. This is what you do. This is how you do it. It doesn't necessarily go like that when it comes to small businesses, because you always have to factor in so many different variants. So many different variants. So different businesses go through their own growing pains. Certain businesses have their own challenges that other businesses never had. So it's hands on. So this is something that we really need to begin to visualize. We should begin to focus on. We should begin to speak to other people who have the resources and have the wherewithal and have the budget to put something like this together, because actually this is not ultimately costly. The overhead to do an event such as this, depending on your organization and the people that, your team, it all boils down to the team. But to be honest with you, there are so many annual events where black people and black culture and consciousness and African centered tradition and whatnot are taking place, that you can go and, outsource and get those teams, somebody from either one of those teams, and basically pay them, consult with them, pay them, or bring them on board to set things up. And you gotta tap. It's like I was talking about with the gig economy. We have to let people do what they are talented and gifted in doing, and don't be afraid to pay them, and don't be afraid to reward them, and don't be afraid to hire them as a gig or outsource to them, because this is what they do. If they claim this is what they do, and if they've proven that they can do that, then instead of everybody wearing all of the hats, how we are as a people. We like to do everything. We want to wear all of the hats. We want to carry everything, because sometimes you don't want to depend on anybody doing what it is that that you're going to handle, and how you're going to handle it, and how you like things handled. So I get it. But at the end of the day, there's so many talented people that are amongst us. But sometimes we don't realize their talents, and we don't utilize their talents, and we don't tap into that talent, because we're so busy doing other shit with them, or sending them to do things that have nothing to do with that talent, or they're trying to try out some new shit with us. No, stick to what you have your power in. because at the end of the day, this is how we're gonna make this is how things are gonna move in a faster motion. This is how things are gonna move in a more cohesive manner. If you look at any of the events that have taken place, if you think about any of the beautiful events that you may have went to, if you think about any of the festivals that you have went to, the reason why it was beautiful and one of the main reasons why it went so seamlessly smooth, it was because of the team, and the people on the team were playing their part. Shout out to the Golden State. Shout out to Bron. Okay? Pay attention, because these holier than thou Negroes be like, I don't watch sports. What is he saying LeBron's name for? Listen, if you niggas can't look at everything that's going on around you as a lesson, you can't break down, you don't have the special glasses to basically see the code and everything that's around you, meaning that you can't learn from every fucking thing that's going on around you. Like, this whole world is a university. It's a universe in a city. So I could look at Game 7. I could look at Braun going in. I could look at somebody playing on superhuman levels. I could look at a champion. I could look at victory. I could look at you niggas running on a motherfucking underdog. I could look at how niggas be switch siding and whatnot when you think that somebody is down and out, and you switch sides on them, and then these niggas show their true colors, and you show your hand, but then boom, the same person that you shitted on, they come back, and they coming back with a vengeance. That's some LeBron shit. Like, you can't get that lesson. You niggas are so fucking puritanical and conscious and woke. You know what I'm talking about? That you can't deal with. You can't decipher that. You act like that's making you unconscious if you talk about that. Like, please. So, be an alchemist. Learn the art of alchemy. So this world that you live in is not uncomfortable to you as you get all fucking smart and conscious and righteous and shit. You know what I'm talking about? You know, you niggas, the weekend warriors, y'all righteous on YouTube, but then you just, just on some nigga shit every other minute after that. So, shout out to everybody who participated as a small business. I saw some beautiful, like, our people are so creative. Our people are so on point. Our culture is so rich. If somebody don't want to call it culture, the shit that we do is so fucking dope. You know what I mean? It's so rich. The fabrics that we use, the patterns that we use, the colors that we use, the designs that we make, the way that the cloth sits on our bodies. You know what I'm talking about? The way that the way that the linen just drapes on us when we walk. Like, we're the bomb, okay? We're the fucking bomb. So when are we gonna blow up? If we're the bomb, why are we not blowing up? You know what I'm talking about? We're the bomb, but we're being used as grenades. Motherfuckers grab us and throw us, they throw us and we blowing other niggas up for somebody else. No, blow yourself up. We don't have to. One of the beautiful things, one of the most positive, most enlightening, most uplifting experiences that I get going to these festivals is that it's all melanated business, okay? I don't got to deal with, the only time I'm dealing with anybody who's not of my kind is on the other side of the table, and they're so courteous, they're so righteous, you know what I'm saying? They're so nice, you know what I'm talking about? They are. They're so nice, their money is so green, you know what I'm talking about? They're so, their white privilege is just showing, it's just shining when they're on the other side of the table. It's just glowing. You know what I'm talking about? I love it. And I get to see everybody who necessarily looks like me. Why are you going to make it about if people that look like you? Because, motherfucker, you know what I'm talking about? I look at people who look like me every day on the subway train, shaking cups, looking pitiful. You know what I'm talking about? Lights almost turned out. You know what I'm talking about? These niggas are, in zombie mode. I'm looking at people in the city when I'm in the city going to get supplies and, other things for my business. I'm looking at people leaving their corporate jobs and their businesses and whatnot, looking depressed and looking sad and looking down. They're not even looking up. They even got the GPS on. So they look down at their phone and their GPS is telling them which way to go. So they don't even got to look up. And I'm like, damn, bro. Our people, and I'm looking at brothers on the train when they be having, when niggas coming from a job, what, like a hood nigga who go to get a job interview, he be on the train with the do-rag, and then the tie is like half you know what I mean? It's like half unopened now, and he got he's sitting with the one leg is stretched the long way. He got the church socks on and shit. I'm like, look at my nigga right there. You know what I'm talking about? He don't even know about Fiverr or the gig economy. I wish I could tell him. And I'm also looking at him and I'm looking at his face and he has a look of defeat. He's like, damn, this shit is tiresome. You know how I could relate? Because I was that nigga on the train before when I was going into trying to get a job, when I was trying to get hired, when I was, you know what I mean? When I wanted them to pay me, when I wanted them to take care of me and to, help me with my bills and my responsibilities. I remember that defeated feeling. You know what I mean? But then I went and hired myself. You know what I'm talking about? So I could basically retire myself. I'm responsible for me now. I went and got a Macintosh and now I work for Apple. I'm dead ass. I went and got me a Mac and I became part of the Genius Bar. I was working for Mac, nigga. I was part of, you know what I mean? The nigga, I was working for Apple once I got my Apple. Facts. And I went and put in the work. And I got out of that shallow grave. I got out of the sunken place because I realized my mentality was in a sunken place because I was allowing the acceptance of somebody else. I was allowing somebody else deeming me. It's time to feed this nigga. It's time for him to eat. Let's bring him in the house. You know what I mean? I was waiting for somebody to take me off of the field and bring me in the house. And in the meantime, you know what I mean? I wasn't handling my business. This was many, many moons ago. So when I see people who look like me eating my nigga, making money, all lined up, people happy, niggas is melanin popping, people glowing, I get ecstatic because I don't care about looking at nobody else. I'm looking at everybody else eat every fucking other day. I'm got an overkill on that. I'm Gucci with that. I done walk through they festivals. I want to see my own people eating with my own people, and I want them to know that they can do that without any middleman, without anybody telling them what they can do, when they can do it, how hard they can do it. Oh, stick around, my nigga. You'll get a 50-cent raise if you're a good boy. You know what I mean? We're just going to examine you for it. You'll be on a year's probation, and then we'll reconsider that dollar raise. Like, fuck out of here, my nigga. I was the sister that was standing next to me today. She might have made $180 an hour. Okay, selling motherfucking glasses and her beautiful jewelry. Shout out to sister Naima. All right. So you know what I mean? $100-something an hour. She's getting her bread. She don't gotta wait for somebody when she's making $30 an hour. You know what I'm talking about? Then they got the water cooler, the boss at the water cooler. You know what I mean? Trying to line up on her when Hot 97 is playing the soca music at noon and whatnot. He's trying to get a little soca dance in. And, he's trying to, when you're doing overtime, you should come stop by the office and hang out with me. You know what I mean? So she could get that dollar raise and shit like that. She's doing all of that for the $1.50 raise. Get the fuck out of here. You raise yourself, man. This is not that day and time for that. You are the raise. So you could start out getting $30 an hour and boop, you could start doing $90 an hour. My nigga, you can make $900 an hour if you savvy enough in these streets. You know what I mean? On this internet, on these waves. You know what I mean? Wherever you may be, brick and mortar, click and order, you name it. But I'm gonna tell you this, that any city where more than 100 people who claim to be conscious or woke congregate, because everywhere niggas be marching is mad deep. So if everybody that's woke is in these states and they marching 5,000 deep, you know what I'm talking about? With they got the new slogans for summer 18. You know what I mean? You can get together at the same damn time, after the march, before the march, on a March coffee break, you know what I mean? Like on a March, you know what I mean? Like on a March timeout, you know what I mean? You can have a fucking timeout right before the die-in, and you can say, listen, we're going to do this, guys. Okay? This is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to go ahead And we're going to open up the marketplace. And all of you white doctors and lawyers, you liberals and whatnot that's over here crying black tears, you niggas got Gatorade cups of black tears, go ahead and drop it like it's hot. Okay? Dig in that motherfucking pocket. And yes, I do take square. You know what I'm talking about? Like, go ahead and drop it like it's hot. Because if y'all pull up next to me, you're going to drop it like it's hot. Okay? You're going to pay like you weigh. Because that's what this is about. Economics. This is about building. This is about bartering. This is about the gift economy. This is about the share economy. This is about the gig economy, and we got something to sell. We have a culture that's $1 trillion priceless culture. Okay? We are hip hop. You know what I mean? We are arts and sciences. You know, we the shit. Okay? We are dark matter in the flesh. So I know my worth. And everybody that was out there vending today, they know they worth. And everywhere I go and I'm in these festivals and I see these people doing the damn thing, they know they worth. I mean, I ain't gonna rant. I was about to get off on the exit of rant. You know what I mean? And go to fuck in on why the leaders and the organizations and all of these people have never developed a fund or never developed any kind of, you know what I'm talking about, any kind of loan office, any kind of bank, any kind of anything for these small businesses that exist in our community who are actually the answer. I'm telling you, these people are definitely part of the solution. And that is a fact. You will not realize that because the potential has not been realized. The potential has never been realized. So you niggas don't know that. You talking that Black Wall Street, my niggas. Black Wall Street was predicated on businesses, black businesses. There's enough businesses on the internet right now. There's enough businesses in Atlanta right now. There's enough businesses in motherfucking Houston, Texas. There's enough businesses in the DMV. There's enough businesses in B-More. There's enough businesses in Philly. Okay? There's enough fucking businesses in the flea, nigga, in the swap meet to justify Black Wall Street. You know what I'm talking about? Whenever you niggas want some socks, you have to make the choice to say, yo, I'm not going to Habib. I'm not going to Mao Zedong. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to this and this and that person. I'm going to Heyman. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to Heyman. You know? I'm going to Ray Ray. You feel me? I'm going to Ray Ray Bay. If the Moors got it, I'm going to Ray Ray Shalom. If the Hebrews got it, I'm going to Ray Ray Anubis. If the fucking Hoteps got it, okay, I'm going to Ray Ray Al. Whoever got it, I'm going to get it from them. Before I go anywhere outside of this circle, there's so many different organizations. There's so many different, you know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters from different backgrounds. You know what I mean? Even if they're not in an organization, even if you can't put a title on them, you don't know what planet these niggas came from. Still, I'm going to go to them before I go to these motherfuckers who don't respect me, who don't like me, who don't care about me, who don't have no plans on building no community centers in the projects for little Ray Ray, baby. No, none of them. The Asians, them niggas don't have you in their 50-year plan. They don't have you in their 5-minute plan. Okay. Well, maybe they got the little thotties in the 5-minute plans, but they're only trying to give you niggas 5 minutes. All right? 5-minute plan. That's it. Blah. That's it. Blah. Get out of here. Just 5 minutes. Go. Dip for my life. So, I don't get it. Nobody has plans for your babies. Nobody has plans for you. Nobody has plans for your unborn. Nobody has plans for your elders. They only have plans for the wombs and the mouths and the jaws and the orifices of your women. That's it. They only got they got the hard dick and bubble gum for your women. That's the only thing that matters, because the booty of all war is the woman. They'll have the black women, yellow women, brown women, green women, red women, orange women, purple women, maroon women. They don't got nothing to worry about. They got everything to worry about. But then they got nothing to worry about. Because there's always somebody that's going to love you. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be somebody that's going to love you. Believe you me. But they don't got no plans for you. The only plans they have for you is some shit that's going to reminisce a porn site. or some shit that's gonna reminisce backspace or back page. They don't got no rose beds for your ass. They don't got no flower beds laid out for you. They don't have no lofty. They ain't gonna try to put you in a castle. So we gotta grab our own nuts. Okay? We gotta grab our own nuts. We only have us. All we have is us. So the only conversation that we should be having that's worth having at the end of the day, on top of some higher conversations of a higher frequency, is how do we solve some of the issues that are getting in the way from some of us coming together and building networks and strengthening networks and sharing resources and doing what everybody around the world is doing at this current moment, who are quote unquote winning. There's even, brother, but remember, Africa is pulling itself out of poverty by obeying the doctrine or the dictates of the new economy markets. They're doing it through their mobile phones. They're pulling themselves out of poverty. They're utilizing cryptocurrency. They're utilizing the collaborative share economy. They're utilizing the gig economy. They're utilizing coding and things of that nature in order to catch up in the quote unquote digital race. By becoming participants or runners in that race, they've now lapped and ran in front of the quote unquote American Negro, whose only race is to the penitentiary or to the motherfucking morgue or with TK. That's the only race that these niggas is doing, really. They're not in the digital. Niggas ain't in the digital race. Don't get it fucked up, please. You know what I mean? Niggas are not in that race. Like, don't ever get it fucked up. Okay? You're not in that race. You having mad iPhones. You was collecting them shit since it was the iPhone 3. That don't make nothing. That don't put you in a race, bruh. That don't put you in a race, bruh. You're not in the race. Okay? You're not in the motherfucking technological digital race. You do not have a slot. You don't have, your lane is completely empty. It's unoccupied. You're not in that race. So we gotta have that conversation. If it's not gonna be red pill, somebody's gonna come in 20 years and have it. It's gonna be too late. You're gonna have the conversation. Gotta have the convo. I run into all kind of niggas all day that's conscious, that are like hackers, white and black hats. You know what I'm saying? Coders. I run into the niggas working for Google and all of that. But nobody knows what to do with them. Nobody's putting them to task. Nobody is creating a gig economy for them. You know what I mean? Nobody is soliciting their services and paying them handsomely for their services. You feel me? That has to change. That has to definitely be a factor that we have to examine. Because if you're not in a race, then why are we even talking? Like, what are we talking about? Why would I even waste my time? There's nothing to, if you're not, this is a quantum supremacy race. Niggas is racing for power, bro. This is a power play. This ain't about nothing else but power. This is about power. Being able to obtain it, share it, and define it, bro. That's power. Whenever a new age is started, nigga, it's all kind of new. It's all kind of, and I'm not talking about 50 Cent's program either, nigga. I ain't talking about the Stars channel. I'm talking about the real power and the real stars. It's time you consolidate power right now. Power is being consolidated right now. And the power that we've already consolidated, it's enough to basically power a movement that could change. It's already changed the world, but I'm talking about changing it for the better, on a whole nother level. So 10 and 50 years from now could be affected. This is a change, whatever change that has been done because of the rise of consciousness, because of the rise of, you know, the social media and depiction of what consciousness looks like, smells like, talks like, walks like, the good and the bad, the good, bad, and the ugly. You understand? Because if you motherfuckers is gods and goddesses, and we know that we're living in the mythos, there's going to be protagonists, antagonists. There's going to be Set. You got to identify who Set is, and then you got to identify who Heru is. Then you got to identify a Saw or Set. All of this, if the mythos is playing out, if for you Bible-toting ass niggas, you got to identify Mary Magdalene, Jesus. You know what I'm talking about? Joseph, and all that. So, you know, this is something, and like I said, I give a lot of free game out. You know what I mean? And I see the game manifest in so many different ways, and I see the seeds grow, and I'm elated. You know what I mean? I'm exuberant. It does my heart a lot of joy. So whatever we talked about tonight, it's not an idea that's only mine, because it's not even an idea it's not intellectual property at the end of the day. I just said a basic concept like, yo, niggas should set up those festivals that we're going to once a year. We should really start feeling like doing that every weekend. Fuck you talking about? I could go there every weekend and my life will change. Nigga can meet his wife at one. You know what I'm talking about? Is A1 is up in those fest. A1, baby. You know that, and the aspect of business, the aspect of networking, the aspect of introducing, new people or new audiences to your products or your services. That's priceless. That's priceless. And then we could really begin saying, yo, we could now you have 100 businesses that are strong, because them food businesses get money. You know what I'm talking about? Food is powerful. Shout out to all of the food vendors that were out there. All right. Whew, I had this vegan burger. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna get the card and just big these people up in a minute. This burger was life. So now you got 100 small businesses. Their business credit is up. Their personal credit is up. They have money in the bank. They got, inventory. Some of them may even have equity, you know what I mean? Some of them may have even gone public and whatnot. So now the conversation about going from taking it from a festival to saying, hey, we could now create a convention. Like, we could now book a convention center, and we could now do what they've doing with Black Expo. We could do what they've done with the hair shows. We could do what they've done with the sneaker cons and all of that. We now can have a convention center that we book in a major city, right? Namely, most like Atlanta, Vegas, where they have convention cities, you know what I mean? Where they have conventions. Like, this is what they do. They have hotels and things of that nature set up specifically to house and to shelter the people who come into town for these conventions. And after you begin to do that, because in the interim of doing that, and I'm speaking it from a perspective of when we put it together, because we're going to put it together, but I'm in no competition. I'm only in competition with myself. So if there's somebody out here that hears it and they want to do it, and somebody was already doing it, well, goddamn it, power to you. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing it. I'm here for the results. And if me talking about it will light a fire under nigga ass to even get on it faster and complete his job, then that's why I do. That's what we're here for. That's how. It's a weird way that this shit works. Sometimes that's how it works. You know what I mean? You know, it's in the world of niggerdom, shit works weird. It just works weird. So then we're going to be teaching and having workshops during these festivals and during these conventions about smart cities, startups, incubators, accelerators, startup cities, startup communities, all of these things that are at play right now that billion dollar companies are utilizing. This is their foundation. This is their foundation, meaning that this is their DNA, meaning that if you peel the layers back on multiple businesses, multiple unicorn startups that have turned into, they call it a unicorn because it's $1 billion business, like a Twitter, Foursquare, The Facebooks. There's so many of them. Lyft, Uber, you know, these concepts, these definitions, these ideas, you know what I mean? These formulas. They need to be taught to small town America. They need to be taught on the Chitlin circuit. They need to be taught in hoods where brothers and sisters are getting shot down like flies. They need to be taught in the penitentiaries. They need to be taught in, you know what I mean, in these universities and these schools. And that's what we're here to do. Okay? That's what we're here to do. All right. So eventually, after the conventions, we can now actually have the conversation about purchasing a small town. Like I said, there's a website called landwatch.com, landwatch.com. You could go on landwatch.com, and there's about 5 other websites similar to landwatch.com. Put in Google websites similar to landwatch.com. And you'll see that they're selling acres upon acres upon acres. America's for sale, goddammit. This is America. Well, America's for sale. There are large swaths of land, more than 40 acres. Okay, remember Black Wall Street was on 40 acres of property. So there are they around the world they're selling America, they're selling around the world. So we could get the land, we could build a small town. We could start from scratch. We could put these monolithic domes in there, earth ships. You know what I mean? I'm a big proponent of earth ships and monolithic domes, and also 3D and 4D printing, and on prefabs and whatnot. And you build from there. After the prefabs, after the monolithic domes, after the earth ships, you can start talking about architecture. But at that point, we're talking about advanced 4D printers. We're talking about basically getting up with master architects and putting together a smart city. You know what I'm saying? Putting together a smart city. And at that point, we'll be able to do crowdfunding through real estate crowdfunding, equity crowdfunding, and we'll be able to raise up the funds to build up this smart city through a concerted crowdfunding effort. All right. So these are some of the projections. But I'm telling you, this can be done. It can start out as being a vendor, a small ass, raggedy ass, small time vendor. You know what I'm talking about? A nickel and dime ass vendor. Selling whatever shea butter ass vendor. And then you could turn that shea butter vending into an enterprise. An enterprise without killing any white people. You know what I mean? Without scalping any Indians. Without, sacrificing your firstborn and shit like that. You know what I mean? Without having to send in your birth certificate to, these niggas' P.O. boxes. You don't got to do none of that. You just got to participate in commerce. You have to be a creative. You just have to want it. You know what I mean? It's not easy at all, bro. This is not for the faint of heart. This is not for the unstable. This is not for the easily depressed. This is not for people with anxiety disorders. I would tell you to that being an independent self-made business, a business owner, a serial entrepreneur, or entrepreneur, whatever, that might not be your thing. You know what I mean? Because it takes a lot of mental fortitude to stay focused. You know what I mean? And to climb out of traps that you may step into or obstacles that you may have in front of you, shit like that. Like, you really have to put a lot of mental work into creating the life that you want to exist in when it's only you. When it's only you. Yes, we do need small hubs with a collective of creative with different ideas to move the needle forward. In my humble opinion, I'm good seeing you Saturday. And good seeing you Saturday. Yes, Just Shady, you damn right about that. You're correct about that. I'm a big proponent of workplaces and workspaces. That is something that we can do right now. Like I said, we're talking about right now. If there's some people who, please go and Google workspaces and workplaces. They have workspaces that when they're gentrifying neighborhoods, they're bringing in all of these workspaces. They're trying to set up workspaces and make it look like a white thing. People are becoming discouraged and they're not realizing the power and they're not realizing the benefit and they're not realizing how effective workspaces are for such people such as ourselves who are definitely in need of workspaces. If you got a workspace, then you don't need to go and get hired. Nigga, you hired yourself. You go into your desk or to your workspace and you get busy. But you're networking with other people inside of the workspace, so y'all are learning from each other. You might use that person, you might merge businesses. You understand? You might wind up merging businesses. Facts. So the workspace thing is very important. The creative hubs. Go and look up the maker places, creative places, maker hubs. We definitely need hubs. So let's say that I live in a small town, a town that's heavily melanated, a lot of black people, the hood, right? A lot of people call shit the hood. Niggas be living in tree-lined communities, talking about they in the hood. Nigga, you're not in the hood. You're in the boondocks. You're not in the hood. Stop it. So you got these areas where the real estate is affordable, meaning the rent or the mortgage is like early thousands, like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. You know what I mean? Some people paying rent in the hundreds. Some niggas are still paying $700 rents, $800 rents. That's unheard of in New York. Like our rents are 2,500 and up. Skeeter, what up? So the hubs are places that they're houses that people buy. You can buy a group of you could rent out a group of houses in a neighborhood, 2 houses, 3 houses, just like the TV show Silicon Valley. They're in an incubator. They're living in an incubator. One guy owns the house. Then he has a coder that lives in the house. Then he has another person who's he writes the code. He's a programmer. The other person he deals with the meetings. He deals with the paperwork. He's the lawyer. So all of these individuals are living underneath one roof. They don't pay rent. They're just working. They're just thinking. They're just knocking out ideas. They're just tightening up their game. They're just prototyping their product and whatnot. And that's how they can build up their startup. That's how you build up your company. That's how you build up your products. That's how you build up your business. Then what do? They go ahead and they get round A. They get investment, seeding money, lean investment. Venture capitalists, people cut checks. They give them seed money. They give them startup money. They invest in them. This is what we have to have as a community if we're going to compete on any single level imaginable in the digital age or the age of the entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you niggas know what age you live in. I don't know if you factor that in. You know what I mean? You don't live in the fucking 60s. You don't live in the Black Power Afro 60s, fight the power. You don't live in the 90s. You know what I mean? In the Wu-Tang era, my nigga, you niggas don't even live in the you don't live in Wakanda. I'm sorry to break the news to you. Like I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, my niggas, but you don't live in Wakanda. Okay? You live in America. All right? You live in America. You live in North America. I'm talking to the majority of people on this line right now. You live in America, so you got work to do. You could go around the world doing the work. You're not restricted to America. For everybody that's so gung-ho about where they come from, and where they're not from, and they're not from America, and they come from everywhere else, you can go around the world now and get money while you go around the world because of the internet. You don't need to be in one situation. You don't need to be in one state. You don't need to be in the office, my nigga. You can make money. Go and get the book 4-Hour Work Week. Him first 4-Hour Work Week. He lays out the motherfucking formula. You don't need to be in one place to get money in the new economy. You could be a driver, a Uber ass nigga. You could go to different states and get bread and just pull up with your Uber car. You could move around. You could have a business online And you don't have to be, you can have a drop shipping business. You could have a business that's linked up to a fulfillment center. You could have a business that basically is running off of your phone, my nigga. You trapping off of your phone and you sitting up, you in Santo, you know what I mean? Santo Domingo, nigga. You in Santa Cruz. You know what I mean? You in Santorini, Greece. Wherever you land, that's where you're at. But you don't have to be confined to a cubicle. That's not the new economy. You could be a person who's blogging as they travel around the world on YouTube, and you could live off of YouTube checks. You could live off of YouTube checks. You know what I mean? It's not a lot of money, but you could live off of super chat, YouTube checks, membership, Patreon, and some other shit. Be paying your motherfucking, yeah, you could be paying your mortgage for your house that you own. You could Airbnb your house while you go and travel. So whoever's Airbnb and renting in the house, they're paying the bills, they're paying the taxes and whatnot. Or you could do that while you're on the road. Because remember, around the world is not as expensive as America. You go around the world with 10 racks, 50 racks. You know, depending on where you go, you could be in a good place. So let's get out of the box and stop secluding ourselves to our neighborhoods or the fucking corners or whatever borough we live in. I'm a navigator. You'll never see me in one place for long. Like, I travel. I'm a traveler. I'm a jet setter. My mama will tell you, when me and my brother was teenagers, certain niggas on this line right now will tell you, like, I was up and out of, like, when I was 16, 17, I was going to different states on the motherfucking Greyhound. You know what I mean? Going to get money. Like, I don't sit in one place. I think in my past life I had to be a pirate or something. Like, I was on the seven seas, you know, on my on my Moorish Corsair, knocking ships over. Like, you know, we was on the seven seas, navigating, traveling. You know what I mean? You know, I'm a galactic silver surfer. So the world is big. You know what I mean? The world is big. It's mad. It's we could all be in a better place if we all, not all, and I don't mean all like everyone, because they don't take all, but if those who are serious start getting serious and start putting things into motion and start building on what remember, the elders built these festivals up. The elders put together Dance Africa. The elders put together the International Arts Festival. The job of the youth or the new generation is to improve upon it. You niggas have to sprinkle pixie dust on these festivals and make it bigger. You got to do what Afropunk did. Afropunk is bodying all the festivals in New York because their shit is top notch. Their shit is quality. Okay, Afropunk is the top when it comes to festivals and those gatherings. Nobody has it sewn up the way the Afropunk has it sewn up. So we need to start taking notes from how Afropunk is doing that and rise and do something better than or more official or more strategically put together than what Afropunk is doing. Facts. Come on, man. Niggas is acting lazy. Like, we're too much of a rich people to be acting so poor when it comes to how we, you know what I mean? How we put, we it's almost like poverty consciousness. We penny pinching this shit. How you gonna penny pinch your greatness? Yeah, I'm gonna be at a Dune Day. We gonna work on being at a Dune Day. I was looking at their application. They talking about you gotta have a Philly tax ID or something. So we're gonna get around it. But yeah, we plan on being at a Dune Day this year. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, as a small business, the summertime, see, I can't necessarily take my show on the road because I got obligations in New York. So I have a child, so I have responsibilities. So I can't necessarily move around the way that I really want to move around. But if you could if you could hit the road for you young niggas out there and the sisters out there, even if you have little ones and whatnot, but if you can travel with them, yo, get on the road and follow these festivals throughout the summer and the spring and into and into the fall, all the way up until like October, starting now. Follow the festivals, make your bread. You know what I'm saying? Make your bread. You know, Make your bread. You know, make your bread. Like, do it. Do it like these niggas who get money moving birds do it. Like, they hit the quiet town, tie it down, and all of that. Get you, find out the Juneteenth events, the Malcolm X events. You know what I mean? The Black August events, the the Adunde weekend, those have events. All of the black holidays, you could tap into that. And then there's other situations that may be going on. I don't know all of them. Maybe you go on Eventbrite, or maybe you could just Google it. Maybe there's a directory. Maybe somebody built the app. Who the fuck knows? I don't know at the moment. But when I do know that you'll be the first one to know about it. You know what I'm talking about? And if we do have to create something that's going to fill that void, because remember, it's wonderful that we get to talk like this, because I'm always pointing out voids. And if anybody is out here and you're really an entrepreneur and you're entrepreneur minded, you should listen to me talk a lot, because when I point out the voids, the way that you can factor in your success is by filling in these voids. That's all these people out here are doing. That's all these people who are making it and being successful. What are they doing? They're filling in voids. What is an algorithm? An algorithm is, remember, an algorithm is a programmed solution to what is seen as a mathematical equation or a problem. It's only a solution. The Google search is an algorithm that was created because they needed to find the indexed websites on the internet. So when they created that algorithm, which is the Google search, which is like the yellow pages on the internet, thus Google was born, or that search engine was born. But that's an algorithm. That's an algorithm. So we should be focusing on algorithms. We should be focusing on pointing out, somebody out there that's listening to this, please write out all of the voids that we have in our community. Please point out all of the voids that we're suffering in the conscious community. Please point out all of the voids that we have in the black community. Please point out all of the voids that you can detect that is taking place, that is impeding our growth and our progress and our natural progression as a people. Now, in the now, not 100 years ago. Don't take me back to Kemet, my nigga. Right now. Right now. And I promise you, if you can point out the voids, if you could point out the problems, if you could point out what's missing, then there's another group of people that are out there, that exist out there, that are eagerly awaiting the presentation of that, because they'll provide the answer. And then boom, niggas can move forward and stop playing games. Zayed, can you send me that list, please? Zayed said they have a list. If anyone wants to know where the festivals are, inbox me and I can send you the list. So this is going to go on YouTube. So I got to read your name out. Zayed Shahid Bey. ZAYID SHAHIED BEY. That's on Facebook. If you want to go in contact on Facebook. They have the list. If you could send me the list, because I need that. You know what I'm talking about? I need that. I might send some people on the road, but that's what we got to do. I'm working right now on a situation in Atlanta where there's 4,000 square feet. We can have a factory in Atlanta that'll be doing inventory and kicking out all kind of things right in our hands right now. But of course, it's gonna take a few 20 to 30,000 to get that shit even up. Not even the machinery, just the whole the spot. Just get it really moving. Like, maybe a 10 color silkscreen machine, the heater, the flash heater. You know what I mean? Like 5 heat presses, some vinyl cutter. 20, 30,000 will get it up and running. But ultimately, with an investment of $100,000, because some of the machines are $100,000, some of the machines are $90,000. Like, y'all don't know about the clothing business, but the machinery that you could use to produce, where you can take cotton and increase the value of cotton based off what you're putting on it, those machines are very expensive. But I got you know what I mean? The real estate is there. The real estate is in, it's real. It's not, we need to get it. We're trying to get it. No, we got it. It's there. So these are some things that are in front of us. And like I said, we working, man. I don't know how else to say it. Like, we working. You know what I mean? I'm not worrying. I ain't looking at what nobody else is doing. I don't even got time to worry about what nobody else is doing. Facts. Like, I'm not even impressed, to be honest with you. Like, I'm working. I'm impressed at what my team is doing and what we're contributing and how we're changing the narrative and the impact. You dig what I'm saying? I can't focus on nothing else. It's too much. Niggas is doing it. My niggas around me is too active. They too busy. They creating too much shit too fast. Like, I'm focused on that. So we doing the work, and we got more work to do, and we could do more work if we work together, and we could make shit happen. We're living in a quickening, so there's no laws governing how fast the shit that I'm talking about can happen. You live in a quickening, so there's no law that's governing how fast the shit can happen that I'm talking about. You think this is a game? We're slowly coming into a time and space, right? Because remember, your boy time travels. I come back with the cloth for you niggas. We're coming up to a time where you're going to have 1 minute millionaires. And if you don't know what that means, a 1 minute millionaire is going to be somebody who has 1 million followers on social media, and they're going to be able to monetize each one of their followers. And they're going to have people become millionaires in 1 minute based off of their fucking following. Y'all playing games, man. It's too much cloth. 1 minute millionaires. So that's the quick, that's all that is the quickening. All that is showing you that what used to take somebody 10 years to get, you're gonna get it in 1 minute, my nigga. That 1 million. You niggas want a milli? You'll be able to get a milli in 1 minute. Shit, if you play HQ, the online trivia game, and hit a lick, nigga, you could make a milli. But they're gonna monetize people's social media following. That's the next wave. They're going to monetize the followers. They're gonna monetize the people who are quote unquote your followers. They're going to be able to open up subscription and membership service for followers. So a nigga with 140 million followers can have $140 million. Walk with me. Don't walk against me. Don't walk away from me. You know what I mean? Walk with me, man. I be trying to hold niggas' hands and walk them into the light. Y'all don't want to win. If you don't want to win, you don't need to listen to anything that I have to say, bro. I'm not here for no fight. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do the goofy shit. Like, I'm just saying, bro. When the book come out, fuck with it. When you see me doing a webinar or a seminar or workshop, don't play yourself. Fuck with it. Because I'm not coming to play any games. Like, the gloves are off, bruh. I'm here to bring solutions. I'm here to bring concepts. I'm here to plant seeds. I'm here to water seeds. You know what I'm talking about? I'm here to open doors and shut them shits. I'm bringing buildings down and building them up. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we doing. It's construction on the mind and the body right now. The same way that they building all around you niggas in the gentrified neighborhoods. You see all them cranes and them buildings is going up. Well, your body should be doing the same thing. You should be working your body like a construction. I'm flexing. Yeah, don't let me take this off. Like, the same way that you see them buildings and shit like that going up, that's the same way that you should be in a gym envisioning your body is being built up. Your temple is being constructed. You're in the motherfucker. You the nigga with the Timbs with the construction hat on. Like, you're demoing, you're breaking down the old body to build up the new body. You know what I'm talking about? You one of them new shiny castles, them white castles that they building, them ivory castles that they keep building in Brooklyn. You one of them. That's how you got to see yourself. That's how you got to see yourself. And when you use this information and when you have visions on what your future looks like, see it like that. You build in the construction the same way that they're showing you we could build new worlds all around you with a budget, nigga. That's what these white boys are showing you niggas. There's no such thing as poverty. No, it doesn't exist because they showed you in Brooklyn and in Harlem, we can build a whole new world around you with a budget, nigga. So we was lying to you the whole time. We wasn't helpless. So we have to do the same thing. I'm tired of watching them build all around us. You niggas are scared to build. You niggas are scared to build around them. You niggas are scared to put up buildings around them. You horrified. You're petrified. You never want to build a pyramid around a fucking Hebrew again. You know what I mean? That's how scared they got niggas. You don't even want to build around these crackers. You scared to build around them. Facts. You just want to break shit down. Facts. You'll demolition some shit. You'll destroy some shit. You'll degenerate shit. You'll diminish shit. You know what I mean? You'll, what do they say? Depreciate shit. You depreciated all of your neighborhoods. You depreciated Harlem, because when they gave Harlem to the niggas, it wasn't broken down like that. It wasn't depreciated. You depreciate a lot of shit, and a European comes around with that fake, I'm going to appreciate the value of the property. I'm going to appreciate the value of the neighborhood. I'm going to appreciate the value of everything, the rent and all. Nigga, you falling for that? So you mean to tell me that since they pulled up in a place that was downtrodden, and that's not real appreciation of anything. That's not a real appreciation. They're coming in with money that was allocated for your people. They're coming in with money that was allocated for the niggas who have depreciated their own neighborhoods. They coming in with that money, and then all they doing is painting the buildings, fixing up the fixtures, getting new doors and new windows. You know what I mean? Putting fonts on the windows. Hey, we got a brewery. Hey, we got an art store. Hey, we got this. Hey, we got that. Hey, we got a Starbucks. And then niggas' rents go up. The cost of living around the area goes up. The shit starts skyrocketing. Motherfuckers getting pushed out of their apartments. And you niggas go for that. Everybody's cool with that. That's crazy. So you don't want to build anything around white people, because I don't know of any big scale construction projects where black people are building buildings and operating their masonry, or building temples, or building structures around where white people live. I don't know of anything. If you niggas know of something, please put me on. But everywhere that I go, these niggas got cranes swinging all in the skies, and these niggas is building new worlds in the slums. They're building shiny castles in the motherfucking slums. And Rapunzel is all up in them castles. You know, the girl with the fake hair, they got Rapunzel in the castles with them. Yeah, your chick with the horse hair, she's in the castle with the cracker. You know what I'm talking about? She's in the castle. That's who they got. They got them in them castles, bruh. So they building all of these castles in your kingdom. All of these motherfucking white castles around you. All of these ivory towers all in the hood. And they got all of your women in the castles with them, right? You niggas can't even get upstairs in these castles, right? You niggas can't even get in the lobby of some of these castles. Because Becky ain't bringing you niggas in the castle the same way that the white boy, Jon Snow, is bringing them sisters in the castle. It's a different kind of slide going on these days, let me tell you. So why is nobody building nothing? Like, what the fuck happened to that? Like, that's a sign of civilization, my nigga. Like, so of course the European looks civilized, because when our women go to work and they looking out the window of the train, or they looking out the window of the monster, you know what I mean? All they seeing is mad building. And remember, this is not downtown Manhattan. This is in their slums. This is in their hoods. This is in their barrios. This is in their fucking concentration camps. They look out the side of the window, and they just see mad new buildings and building going around. And there's there's some shit that's unsaid and untold, that when you look at new buildings being built, you don't say, oh, that's the new buildings that's going to have Ray Ray in them from over there in the Hoover Crip gang. That's going to be their new building. Oh, that's the new building that Barquisha and all of them finna move into. You look at those buildings and you be like, the whole cast of Friends is going to live in that building. You know what I'm saying? Seinfeld and them niggas probably going to be in that building and things like that. You don't think the niggas is gonna be in the new buildings. So it's already in your subconscious that means that the more new stuff is going up, the less niggas is gonna be around. That's a dangerous fucking idea. That is a dangerous concept to plant in your subconscious. You gotta fix that. You gotta fix that. I think the brother Jay Morrison is doing a equity fund. Is that correct? I believe he's doing it. Yes, Jay Morrison from Buy Back the Block and his lovely queen, Ernestine Johnson. They're doing the first ever equity crowdfunding for Tulsa funds. It is on your shoulders, black people, brothers and sisters. We don't play that, oh, you're listening to Red Pill, so you gotta act fake like you don't know that there's anybody that's out there. Get the fuck out of here with that. You don't talk about like, go and support that brother. Go and support any brother or sister that's out here. It's not a competition or anything. Go and support that brother. Go and check out what he's talking about. You do your research, and if it works for you, then support that. Facts. Because we need change. You know what I mean? We need change more than we need dollars. How about that? We need change more than we need dollars. And just getting dollars don't work. Just get dollars. It's not helping. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about getting dollars. It's not just getting dollars. It's working together. It's building up equity. It's circulating our dollar. It's currency. Tulsa Real Estate Fund. Go and look up the Tulsa Real Estate Fund. You know, there's people that are out here doing things. There are people that are out here who have teams with them that are putting things together. And it's important that you don't waste your time on people that are not doing things. Okay? That's right. That's what you do. So, I'm about to call it a night. You know what I mean? I got things that I got to do. The brother just said he owns 65 acres of land. Bruh, you own a city then. If you own 65 acres of land, brother man, Herb Wise, salute to you. You should dream about a town every night. Real talk. You should. I know a lot of people who need places. You should be dreaming in your dreams or your vision quest. You know what I mean? Visions about, you know, you should put in your vision quest that you're going to have a small town where people who are enlightened and who are conscious go for healing, and also go for labor, and also go for elderly, later, living. I'm not gonna say group home or senior home, but later living. Okay, that's what you can do on those 56 acres. Those 56 acres can turn into a 56 acres of all manufacturing, meaning that if you niggas spend the night on those 56 acres, you're going to be working in the morning. How about that? You're going to be in a factory. You're going to be laboring. It's going to be sweat equity, okay? You're going to be putting in work. Something is going to be done by everybody who's an inhabitant of that 56 acres, where they're going to be producing something, either produce, production, reproduction, you know what I mean? Or post-production. Post-production is after you shoot a movie, you edit the movie, you chop up the movie, you lay down the sound and all of that, and you track it. That's post-production. Produce is farming, being farmland. Anywhere that there's a big city, you should have at least a food truck that's doing smoothies, or you should have a juice bar that's serving smoothies. And the source of the vegetables, or the source of the fruits and vegetables that you're getting for that, should come from farmland. The farmers, black farmers. You know what I mean? So on those 65 acres, we could be growing all kind of herbs, all kind of medicines, all kind of fruits and whatnot, rare fruits, things like that. Working with the soil. I have a brother named Terrence Miller who has heirloom seeds, but he has the seeds that come before heirloom seeds. He knows, and I have another brother, Michael, uh, Mr. Anderson, who knows how to make the gold. They call it black gold. The compost is so rich that they call it black gold. Elderly care, yeah. The compost is so rich that they call it black gold. So he could basically, get on at least 20 acres and just create, a farm that our people definitely need. What state is that you're talking about, that you have the acres in, brother? And you should hit me on the inbox too so we could talk. You know what I'm saying? Hit me on my inbox. Send me your information through a message. My brother Herb Wise. You know what I mean? So we could build. Yes, he said he learned from the best, Noble Drew Ali. You already know, like, we need acres on this land, family. Y'all play games if you wanna. But there's so many people who have inherited hundreds of acres down south in the Midwest. I speak to so many people, and it's a shame that they don't have, there's not enough proper representation that they can go, that they can trust, or they can help, or they can enhance, or they can develop, or they can invest. You know what I mean? Because there are people that are out there with the fucking solution, like sitting, getting, you know what I mean, having anxiety attacks. Oh, beautiful. Michigan and Mississippi. Man, beautiful. The southern states, there are a lot of people who have inherited acreage in the southern states. There are a plethora of people who have reached out to me who have inherited acreage from the southern states. There are brothers and sisters in Louisiana who have large amounts of property. There are brothers and sisters in the state of Texas. There are brothers and sisters in the state of Georgia and Florida, the Carolinas, and Tennessee and Mississippi. So there's a lot of people who are landowners, a whole lot of people who are landowners. So, like I said, the ideas of creating what are known as smart cities, or no, startup cities, incubators, accelerators, workplaces, workspaces, and then smart cities. These ideas can be explored. These ideas and these concepts can be easily funded. They're not big overheads. You know what I'm talking about? There's not no $100,000, it's like a $5,000 startup, $10,000 tops. You know what I mean? 20, 30,000 rack, that'll get you a nice little incubator, a nice little accelerator, you know what I mean? Or workplace and whatnot. It's basically a space that has desks, an empty space, an open space that has Wi-Fi, and you have copier machines. Some spaces, some workspaces have 3D printer machines, and you have desks, like somebody comes in with their computer. It could be a Surface, it could be a Mac, it could be whatever goddamn computer you want that you pull out of your bag, and that person sits at that desk. That desk is their business for the day. You're making phone calls, you're shooting out emails. There's a room if you want to have meetings. There's a room set up to where you can have professional meetings and people come in. You could do interviews. You could have interns to come, and interview them and stuff. So these can happen in these small towns. These can happen. Like I said, going back to what I'm saying, I'm in New York. It is very difficult. There's limits in New York, unfortunately. Unfortunately, there are certain limits in New York because of the high cost of living and because of the quote unquote the access or the lack of access that we have, because of the fact that a lot of people don't own the real estate in New York. There's not a lot of owners of real estate. You know what I'm saying? The Jews, the Ashkenazi, the Hasidics, they're the owners of a lot of that real estate. And as much as they be gassing niggas up that they're their home, that's the homie. Yeah, they're not giving up any buildings and whatnot. They're not handing a lot of keys over and stuff. So Out of town, down south, Midwest, a lot of places where it's still affordable, you have the benefit of the doubt. You have the opportunity. You are the keys are in your hands. Okay? You have the resources. The limits that we face, you may face limits that we don't face. We may face limits that you don't face. But that's what I'm go and explore it. Don't take my word for it. Go and explore it. You know what I'm saying? There's states where you can have an open carry gun, bruh. Nigga, I was in Texas, they had the hammers on the outside of the clothes. Like, that shit fucked me up. I'm not used to seeing that because in New York, you don't see that. So for places where black men can carry guns, where the fuck is the security forces at? Where are the security teams? Like, there should be mad people with guns legally protecting and enforcing the law. I don't get it. Like, the kidnappings, the rapes, the murders, and all of these things should drastically be reduced by the presence of all black security forces, private security forces, legal. Everybody is legal. Everybody is from the top to the bottom, beyond legal. These are living beings. These are living persons. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. Like, what's the holdup? What's the holdup? The same way that they have private military contractors running amok all around the world in the name of America and corporate America and capitalism. You know what I mean? You have to have your private security firms, your security agencies protecting what is most your most important asset, and that's the children and that's the women. You know what I mean? And that is your most precious asset on this planet. Because you produce nothing. I mean, that in the what? That in the mixtape, my niggas? That in the mixtape? What else do you produce? You know what I'm saying? What else do you produce but a triple double, the mixtape, and the fam, the seeds? And that's not to take away from the genius of us all, because we produce everything. But I'm just saying, collectively in the state that we're in right now, according to the narrative, not because Red said it, according to the narrative that World Star sold you, the narrative that the music industry with the 10 songs that they play every day in a continuous loop, right? For a 90 days, what's the cycle? The cycle is usually a 40-day cycle, I think, on radio. So they're inundating you with the same 10 songs for 90 days almost. There's some songs that they've been playing for 900 days, every damn day on the radio. So according to the narrative, not because I said it, but according to the narrative, that's what you niggas' story is. You don't have a story. You know what I mean? And your story is always you going out the bad way. That's your story. Tragedy. That's your story. You're not the victor in the story. You have to rewrite the story. And then when you rewrite the story, you got to show them the movie. You got to put it in their motherfucking face unapologetically. You have to take this shit. You got to take the motherfucking image back on your own accord. On you know what I mean? On your dime. Not nobody else's. Not nobody else's. We responsible for us right now. So, I mean, y'all all grown, so we don't even gotta talk about that. We know what it is. You know what I'm talking about? We know what it is. But today was a beautiful day. You know what I mean? Tomorrow's gonna be even more beautiful. And then next Sunday is gonna be even more beautiful. June 3rd on Sunday, St. Francis College. The meeting of the metaphysical masters. You know? So, you know, we'll get back to you. You know what I'm talking about? If you're in a city, Holla at your peoples. If I see you and you pull up, you know what I mean? Shout me out. You know what I mean? I'll shout you out. We'll have all products on deck. You know what I'm talking about? And we'll take it up from there. But going back to what I was saying earlier about the marketplaces and the idea of creating marketplaces inside of the different communities that are in the different states, especially the states where I've lectured. I'm really gonna just reflect on the states where I've done lectures, and in those lectures, a few hundred people have been in that one room. So if a few hundred people have shown up just for a lecture, then a few thousand people exist to show up for products and to show up to support and to show up to just see and to show up to be in the sea of culture or the sea of consciousness or the sea of negative and positive ions. Believe you me when I tell you, when I walk through that sea of melanin, when I walk through that sea of blackness, when I walk through that sea of, patchouli oil, you know what I'm talking about? And, natural hair products, it just felt healing. It was like a healing force, it was like a healing force field. It's like a healing force field. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. You know what I mean? When our people come together, we heal each other. When our people come together, we upgrade each other's DNA. When our people come together, we enlighten each other. You understand what I'm saying? So it's very important that we continue to come together. And it's very important that we continue to inspire. And it's very important that we continue to enlighten each other. You know what I'm saying? And it's very important that we continue to know our worth. A lot of people know their worth. I saw a lot of people this weekend who know their worth and who are very in touch and intact with who the fuck they are and who they aren't. And I saw some people who may not be, but I'm not here to talk about them. I saw some people who are fully aware what the fuck they came here to do. Facts. So, it ain't nothing to do it. So that's why I'm adamant about seeing those same people on a more frequent basis. This is just my love letter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to see our people on a more frequent. I don't want to wait every 6 months. I don't want to wait once a year, because this shit is once a year. Like, you got to wait a whole nother year now. Like, it's almost torture. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost teasing you. Like, nigga, stay alive, make it to next year so you can feel this shit. No, we need more of this. We need more of this. We need to come together more so. And we even need to come together and communicate, because when you're doing commerce and you're networking and you're shopping and shit like that, and you're eating and whatnot, you're having small talk, you're building, you know what I mean? You're being a social butterfly, but you're not having that town hall, or you're not having that investment collective group meeting, and, you're not having that brainstorming session. We had a lot of them this weekend, individually or with small groups. Yes, that shit was going on. We was opening up portals, you know what I mean, doing all kind of things. But there's a time to come together in the marketplace, then there's a time to socialize. Two totally different things. You come together in the marketplace in the daytime, you socialize at night in the club, or in the social in the either the club or the lounge. Two different things. Then you get to build and everything. But yeah, I'm saying we'll talk. You know what I mean? We'll talk. We'll build. Once again, thank you for everybody that was in the building tonight. And like I said, it's a late night session. I'm gonna try to do another video. You're informed as to when the uploads are coming in. All right. But love and light to the family. Go ahead and get that album. Twin the album. Okay. The Twin album. Go to the Twin. Or go to twinthealbum.com. You know what I'm saying? and get your collector's edition. There's your bloodin' or your crippin'. There's your bloodin' or your crippin'. So yeah, make sure y'all go and get the Red and the Blue album. You know what I mean? Double album. Twin. Telling you. Classic. Fire. Don't wait for the people to start talking about it. Then you're like, I know the niggas. Yeah. Be on the early train, okay? Don't be on the late bus. But yeah, it's been fun. Hey. What's up, Jada? Yeah, y'all stay blessed too. You know, it's about everybody staying up. Y'all stay blessed too, you know. Y'all stay good. Y'all stay focused, you know what I'm saying? And you know, get this thing going. Love and light. Peace. Yeah, and the Patreon, shout out to all of my Patreons. The album is you could purchase at twinthealbum.com. So TWIN twinthealbum.com. All right? Twinthealbum.com. And if you want us to sign it, just you have to put that in the notes. All right? You got to put that in the notes. Yeah, salute to all of y'all. You know, this was just some small cloth. This is baby cloth. You know, like I said, that book that's coming though, that Facts 2020 book that shit is full of cloth. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the clothiest. Well, this album is cloth too. You know what I mean? Like I definitely went in. I must say, Blue Pill definitely went in. I must say, Cambada definitely went in. I must say, AA definitely went in. I must say, like, this album is fire, especially on some summertime shit. And it sound real good in the whip. If you got that system, the shit knocks in the whip. Believe that. All right. So, love and light. Shout out to my Patrons. Patreon.com/Red Pillar. PILLAR. Especially if you heard this tonight and you understand what it is that I'm out here doing and the importance of what it is that I'm doing, and you know that I can't do it by myself, and you know that the more resources that I have, the easier and the faster this thing gets done, then you will become a Patreon. You feel me? You will definitely become a Patreon, whether it's $5 or 500. You know, I got Patreons at high places. How about it? All right. But love and light to the fam. Peace.